good. Today is a very good day. Why? Because this is the day that the Lord has made. But besides that, I'm just feeling good today. Feeling good. I'm feeling great. Feeling great. Feeling good. How are you? Hey heroes, Supa Chris here. Thank you for joining me on All These Things TV. If this is your first time, welcome. And if it's not, hey girlfriend, it's good to see you again. If this is your first time joining me on All These Things, please be sure to hit the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Today is a pregnancy video. I am about to compare pregnancies. I know that I have been telling y'all for the past 2 months, oh, the pregnancy videos are coming. But now is the time to start talking about it because I'm getting into the late 20s. And if I don't talk about it soon, this baby gonna be here and I'll be like, well, where's all the good stuff that I wish I would have known? So I'll give you guys a little backstory about how I managed my first pregnancy. And then we're gonna talk about my second pregnancy on, of course, the other side. I don't know why I feel like I need an illustration. I want to talk about things like eating and self-care and self-image and time and pain management and being able to manage the home while being pregnant and having a toddler and worrying about how I'm going to love another baby human as much as I love Cadence. I've had quite a few ladies that just found out that they're pregnant as well, or have found out in the past few months, and they're like, oh my gosh, not to brag, God be the glory, because I don't know how this is happening. Christian, you look so well, you look so well put together. You are the prettiest pregnant lady that I've seen in a long time. And I'm like, girl, if only you knew. A lot of that comes from going through my first pregnancy and knowing what I did not want to replicate in my second pregnancy. There's a lot of loss of self in my first pregnancy. It was just a lot of things that I had to deal with in terms of not being married and feeling like I was outside of the will of God and all of that. So it was a little bit difficult for me to love myself during my first pregnancy. So I want to give this advice for anybody. If this is your first pregnancy, then this will be great advice for you. That way you don't have to make so many drastic changes if you decide to have another one, because these are things that I wish I would have done that have proven to make me feel so great and so awesome this time around. And I wish I would have had this advice the first time. That way I would have felt just as good then as I do now, because I feel really great this pregnancy. And I want to credit most of that to my close relationship with Christ, because just making sure that he's always in the mix has helped me quite a bit. And then my husband has always been supportive. He was even supportive when we weren't married, and you know, he was there with me and Cadence. We lived together, so I mean, he was there, he was supportive. And he was just as supportive this time. These are ideas that will help you feel good during your pregnancy, because it's hard. It's hard to do that, especially when you have a lot going on, you have a lot on your plate, and it seems like you have to care for everybody else on top of yourself and the baby inside of you. So the first thing I want to talk about is eating. Everybody knows they get pregnancy cravings. Some of the cravings aren't the healthiest, but I've learned this time around that even if I do have a craving, to not always give into it, because that's literally what it is. It'll come and it'll go. One thing that I've learned, that if the craving is really there, it'll stick with me for more than a day. You know, I've had cravings that'll be like, ooh, that looks good, I want it right now, and then it'll be gone in 2 hours. This has helped me a lot, because I'm about to touch week 26 tomorrow, in the next couple days. So I'm tapping into my 7th month, and as of right now, since my last doctor's appointment, I've only gained 10 pounds. Now, everybody's pregnancy is different. Now, don't get it twisted. Everybody's pregnancy is different. Every baby grows different and does different things to your body. My first trimester with eating was very, very difficult. I was really fatigued. I couldn't do anything but literally sit on my couch and stare at a TV for about 3 or 4 weeks. And it was terrible, and I felt like a terrible wife. It took me forever to like make dinner. It was difficult for me. What you put inside of your body matters. You know, in my first pregnancy, I felt like I got a pass and I could eat whatever I wanted, and I literally took advantage of it. I was eating cotton candy and sodas, and I had like burgers 3 or 4 times a week, and I was just like, oh, this is what I want, this is what I want, instead of actually considering the nutrition that goes into caring for a kid. Because if you do your research, you're only supposed to take in another 300 calories and you'll be fine. You know, you don't need to overeat or eat for 2, as they say, because that is how, for me, I gained almost 50 pounds with Cadence, and it took me 2 years. It took me almost 3 years to get that weight off, and as soon as I got to my good weight that I was excited with, boop, here's another baby, because that's how it works. I've learned that even though you have cravings, like some of my cravings are like donuts, bagels and cream cheese, carbs and bread and sugary things, which I craved with Cadence, so that was okay. I'm worried because those are things that can put weight on you. And if you are someone that is concerned about, you know, the way they look and the way that they feel, and if that matters to you, if you're that kind of chick like me, then you want to be mindful of what you put in, because you know, the baby's only gonna be with you for 9 months, and then you got to deal with the rest of that weight on your own. You also need to give yourself time after the baby is delivered to like the swelling to decrease and all the water weight to go down. You're not going to be able to lose all the weight in the first month. These superstars that be having snapbacks real quick, a lot of it is because they changed their nutrition, or their nutrition has been on point the entire pregnancy. Yes, they'll have cravings, and yes, they'll go into their cravings when they feel like it's absolutely necessary. That's the thing for me. Like, I've actually even cut down on my Quick Trip iced teas. They satisfy my craving, but they don't make me feel good at the end of it. You know, they don't make me feel good. I feel sluggish, I feel bloated, I feel gross. So if you were the type of girl that was on smoothies and fruits and vegetables, then don't stop that because you have a craving for fried chicken and, you know, deep fried okra. Keep going in terms of the healthy route, you know, and water. Drink your water, because it will make a difference. If you haven't been a water drinker, if you become a water drinker during your pregnancy, you will never go back to just drinking so much pop or so much juice. Like, you need to drink as much water as it makes you sick. Like, you just need to drink water because you're bored. Just water. It has given me more energy, has made me more regular in terms of constipation and hemorrhoids and things that we have to deal with pregnancy. That water helps you move and have bowel movements. It's crazy. And it just makes you feel good. It makes you feel lighter than you already are struggling to feel, because you're going to feel bloated because you have this baby shifting all of your internal organs around, and the water just helps continue to flush things out. Water is important, and then it battles the looks of fatigue on your skin and in your eyes. Water will hydrate all of this here to where you don't look tired and pregnant. You know, you look good, you look glowy, you look dewy. It's because that water is in your system. Drink water. And I know that they say that in almost every book and almost every video, but really, seriously, drink your water. Drink your water, drink your water. I don't know if I can say that enough. So the next thing has really been important to me in terms of caring for myself in this pregnancy is literally caring for myself. And I'm not talking about just making sure I'm eating or making sure I'm getting enough rest. Those things are important, but I'm just talking about making myself feel good. You know, even on the days where I was sluggish and I felt like I couldn't get off of the couch, I still forced myself to get up and get off the couch and at least wash my face, brush my teeth, even if it required me putting a little mascara on, just to make me feel better about me. The first time when I was pregnant, my hair was natural. I had like this fro and I hated it. I didn't like what I looked like. I felt disgusting. I felt unwanted. I felt like the most slobby blobby thing, and a lot of it was because I just sat there and I just waited for the baby to come. I didn't do anything to make myself feel good. So I really think it's important in your pregnancy to remember that you're still you, and it's you know, regardless if you're becoming a mom for the first time or the second time, you're still yourself, and you still need to treat yourself like yourself. Like, don't be like, oh, I'm having a baby now, so I can't listen to this, or oh, I'm having a baby now, so I can't do this. You know, of course you're going to change your life to become an example for your kid, but at the same time, don't lose who you are, because that is something that I lost with Cadence, and I had to regain it. I had to refine myself. It's really important to not lose who you are just because you're worried about becoming a mother, because the best part about being a mom is leading the example of your life, and then them just wanting to be you. That is the best part, you know. And if you don't know who you are, they're gonna grow up and be like, I don't know who I am because my mama didn't know who she was. We don't want that. We want our kids to be strong and confident in who they are, and we have to be the example. I still dance, I still do everything. I don't let the fact that I have a person growing inside of me stop me from doing anything. And I let that happen a lot in my first pregnancy. I was like, oh, I need to sit down and just wait, and I'm just gonna wait here, and I'm gonna crochet me a blanket. I don't want to go out unless we're going to eat. I missed out on year 22 and 23 of my life because I was just like, no, I can't do anything. I'm a mom. I have I have responsibilities. This is my responsibility. This is what I've been called to do. I can't do anything else. I stopped caring about how I looked, and that made it even more difficult to lose weight. You know, I would go out in pajamas that was all ratty and tear it up and go to Walmart with no bra on. Don't get me wrong, because I still do that sometimes. Don't judge me. And I encourage you guys to put yourself first. And I know that sounds crazy, you know, as a mom and a wife, but in terms of your image, take time, you know, for yourself. Don't let your pregnancy slow you down to where you don't take time for yourself. Yes, you're gonna be tired. Yes, your back is gonna hurt, but if you don't water yourself over to your vanity and put you some eyelashes on, or put you some lip gloss on, at least some chapstick, comb your hair, make sure your clothes match, put a watch on, some earrings on, and you'll be fine. You know, you still have to care for yourself while you're creating life, because if you don't, when that baby is here, you're going to feel even less valuable, on top of postpartum and people dealing with, you know, feeling invaluable when the baby comes, because quote unquote your job is done because you know, birthed the baby, you've grown the baby. You know, there's a lot of things that are already going to be complex in your life that your self-image needs to be up to par to handle those emotional up and downs that are going to happen once the baby gets here. Time management. Because I am a mom and a wife, and I also have all these things TV, because I have not let the pregnancy stop me, I'm a busy woman, and because of that, I'm battling with giving myself time to be pregnant. There's pros of giving yourself time to be pregnant, but then not being yourself and staying busy and doing things, and then there's staying busy and not giving yourself time to be pregnant. And that's kind of where I am. I'm trying to balance the two to where I'm able to give myself time. You know, I have taken maybe, especially in the second trimester, I've probably taken 3 naps the entire second trimester, because I feel like I have so much to do. You know, I have to maintain the house, food has to be done, meetings have to be made, emails have to be sent, videos have to be made, a baby needs to be clean, her hair needs to be done, you know, the floor needs to be vacuumed, the laundry needs to be done, and I don't have time for a nap. And there are days where, like the 3 times in this trimester that I've actually fallen asleep, where I just collapse. But then I wake up and I feel bad, you know. So I would highly advise that you find a balance in maintaining the home and remembering that you're pregnant, because you need more sleep than you get at night. Because at nighttime you get sleep, but come on, girl, you be tossing and turning, your stomach be hurting, you can't get comfortable, you can't breathe, you always thirsty, and if you're not thirsty, you gotta go to the bathroom. You don't get no sleep, especially once you get hit that 32 week mark. You're gonna need your sleep, because your body is starting to store up energy to push the baby out of you. You know, it's gonna take a lot of energy. I think it's really important to make sure that you're listening to your body, to where if you need to sit down, sit down. That is one thing that I do. I might not take naps, but I do make time to, if I'm doing dishes or if I'm cooking something and there's hamburger on the skillet, I'll sit down for 2 minutes and be like, okay, let me sit for a second. Now that I'm getting bigger, the weight of the belly is starting to weigh on my hips and my back. And if you just listen to your body, you'll be able to hear if you need to sit down, or if you need to go to sleep, or if you need to put your feet up, or if you need to get somebody to rub your back. You just need to really listen to your body and not push yourself too much because you have so much to do. That is one thing that I've learned. Now the next thing, in terms of pain management, if you're hurting, don't be upset. Don't feel bad if you got to tell your husband or your significant other, or you got to call somebody over to your house and be like, I need some help, I'm hurting, I can't move. You know, because if they're really in your corner, they'll be there to help you. And if not, you know, just take your time, because the pain is going to be there, because that just comes with being pregnant. That's the curse of Eve. When she ate the apple, she made it difficult for everybody. So thank you, Eve. You're the best. Now, with the first and the second pregnancy, I was so excited for Cadence to come. She was going to be my little princess. I said I was going to give her the world. So she got here. Because it's my first to my second pregnancy, I have a concern, because there are people in the world that have favorite children. And I'm not saying that that's going to be me, because my mom says she doesn't have any favorites. I just find it hard to believe, and I know that sounds so crazy. I just want to make sure that I have enough love in my heart for another one. You know, I don't want to make Cadence feel left out because I finally get my mama's boy, because she's a daddy's girl. You know, I want to make sure that the love is distributed evenly and thoroughly, and I guess that comes down to loving them the way they need to be loved, as opposed to loving them on the same playing field, because Cadence will need love in a different way that Eden won't, and vice versa. So I'm assuming that as long as I get to know them on a personal level and I learn who they are as little people, that the love distribution will be fine. With getting Cadence prepared for the second baby, it's going well. You know, a lot of it now is just having baby dolls stuffed in her shirt all day. And at first it bothered me, but I think that's just how she's accepting that mommy's having another baby. And I don't think of it as weird or anything, because she literally walks around and does what I do. If I start cleaning up the kitchen, she'll walk around with her little stuffed animal in her belly and grab the broom and sweep my carpet. I've had a couple of conversations with her to prepare her, to let her know that she's going to be the example, and she's a big girl now, and she needs, you know, to remember that she's going to have more responsibilities because she has a little person looking up to her. And I'm just excited to see how their relationship plays out. Baby talk. The first time, I didn't have a lot of baby talk, you know, with other people, but this time it seems like everybody wants to reach out to me to talk about baby stuff. Like, people will message me, people will Snapchat me, and I don't have no problem with it because I talk about my pregnancy all the time. There are a lot of pregnancy groups, and I sometimes, you know, because us pregnant women, we iffy. One day we want to be mom of the year and know everything about our kids, and then the second day we don't want to be bothered. We don't want to hear about nobody's baby talk. It just depends. So there are groups that I have been looking to be a part of, or I am a part of. I have a Facebook group called Babies Due in June, and if you're looking for a network of women, if you're expecting, just go on Facebook and look up Babies Due in blah blah blah, and I'm pretty sure that there's a Facebook group. There's, you know, Instagram hashtags where you can find a community of people to where you guys are going through the exact same thing at the same time. There's a section of people that are in the same pregnancy vein as you, that they're available to talk. And I think it's the most genius thing ever. Just be careful in those groups because you're dealing with a lot of emotional pregnant women. So people start getting into arguments and people start getting emotional. And not only does people start talking about their life, but they start talking about their relationships with their spouses or their baby daddies. So be careful because you can get caught up in some stuff that you don't really need during your pregnancy. So that I would be mindful of that. I'm really excited for the rest of this pregnancy, and I'm also really excited to see my cute little cheeky face baby boy and to, you know, grow in life. And I just really appreciate you guys going on this journey with me. I hope this advice helps. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.